Hi there, I'm Kylie Mowbray-Allen from Hello Media.
And I'm Jenni Walk from Elephant in the Room Consulting, and you're tuning into Bite-Sized Business Life Podcast, the show that helps business owners get clarity and insight to grow their dream business.
Whether you're launching, ready to scale, or figuring out what's next, we discuss the nitty-gritty, the hard bits, the opportunities, and the behind the scenes, and share how we've grown our own companies and helped others do the same.
We're glad you're here. Build clarity and build their great dream business. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since we've done that introduction and I'm all tongue-tied this morning. The show that helps small business owners build their dream business. That's what we're here to talk about today. How are you, Kylie? Happy Monday.
I'm so great. It's so good to see you and be back doing what we love after a 6-week break. And here you are back as a married woman.
I know. We're talking off air that yes, we're now Mrs. Shepherd. I was actually really excited. We went to Tokyo and Kyoto for our honeymoon just for a week after the wedding, which you emceed like a boss. Thank you very much for that. And we got a little monogram on something that we bought, and it was the first thing I've had monogrammed as a JS. So it's a little bit kind of strange seeing my initials as JS, but yes, we are now a Mrs. Shepherd.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? The changing of your name. I felt like if I became Mrs. Allen, then I was my mother-in-law, and it just felt an unusual step for me.
I feel like it's a rebranding process, right? This is what I'm struggling with at the moment. Is at what stage do you launch the new brand of Mrs. Shepherd? Like everything is obviously still in our name. It's only been 6 weeks in my name. All my clients know me as Jenni Walk. On socials, we're Jenni Walk. So I kind of feel like when you get married, it's a little mini branding and rebranding exercise to decide where you're going to launch your new name first.
It fully is. While you have been away, I've run a workshop series on personal branding.
Amazing.
And which was really, really fun because so often I focus on the brand of the business and the look of it and the feel and the voice and all that. But to actually do the person behind the brand and how do you show up online and all that, it was really, really fun. But so that's exactly what you're talking about is now, are you then Jenni Shepherd or Jenni Walk, which is a completely
different thing.
Like if I Google Jenni Shepherd, someone else is going to come up.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Also, the challenge, I think, is not just that. I was looking at this, a colleague that I know who I've connected with on LinkedIn. So, and I think also on Insta. She's quite a professional woman, kind of senior manager. And I connected with her on LinkedIn and on Instagram. And her name on Instagram is a very kind of fun version of herself. So it's not her official name. It's a kind of a nickname that she uses for herself in a private sense. So I don't know her by that nickname. I know her by a public name. And so it's really funny. I was having this conversation with a colleague of mine saying, how does that sit, right? Because if I have, my personal account is Jenni Wren because my sisters always used to call me Jenni Wren. So, but no one would know me as Jenni Wren on socials. They know me as Jenni Walk or Elephant in the Room Consulting. So using your kind of nicknames for your socials, I also found challenging because you're not sure who's going to show up, right? Is this the professional or the business? Are we talking about what you're doing, or is it deep dive and seeing you at, happy hour on a Sunday afternoon?
That's so true. It really is. I tried to change my name on Facebook and just shorten it because Mowbray-Allen is just ridiculously long. So I just thought Kylie Mo would just be perfect. And but anyway, all these people started messaging me going, are you and Rich okay? Are you getting divorced? And the whole thing. And I was like, no, it's just because it's a stupid long name and I should never have double-barreled it. But and the e-notice went, okay, back to it. And it's a funny thing, isn't it? Our whole online footprint. And it's
how
sometimes
people
it's just
see
easy
you, right?
to go with what you've got,
Yeah.
So
It's crazy. Like I didn't think about it, but so many people are and it's beautiful. I've got some amazing clients, and they've they've been emailing me when knowing that I'm back at work the last couple of weeks saying, "Hello, Mrs. Shepherd, how are you today?" And that's just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, I am that now, aren't I? So I mean, I'm incredibly proud. Like we had such a beautiful wedding, and I couldn't be more happier with my amazing husband. That's the one I'm trying to struggle with. The word husband is a little new to me. I keep saying partner, and people are like, "Do you mean?" I'm like, "The ring on your finger would suggest it's not just a partner." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's right, it's husband." So that's the biggest rebrand for me.
that's really fun, isn't it? What a lovely, exciting new stage of life.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Really
But
precious.
we're exciting today. And a little segue. I'm excited because we are 1 week away from the Growth Trio online this Friday. And I'm so excited to be back this week. I'm bookending the week with you today and then the Growth Trio on Friday. It's going to be such a big week.
I'm really, really looking forward to it too. We had so many people get in touch and say, can't do Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, or Byron. So what's for us? And so to say, okay, it's not all going to be in person. We've pulled it together, brought this online version out there for people. So I'm really looking forward to it too. And while I was thinking about your topic in particular, because you start the day off and it's all about navigating your journey as an entrepreneur, and I thought even just the word entrepreneur is a really interesting one, isn't it? And navigating your journey as anything, right? Trying to figure out where you're at in business. And I was talking with someone the other day who said, oh, I want to come so badly, but I don't have a business yet. I couldn't call myself an entrepreneur yet. And I was like, but actually, it's all about navigating your journey. That's where
Yeah.
Jenni sets the stage. So,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Oh, I completely agree with you. And I mean, I always struggle with the word entrepreneur, business owner. People kind of say, look, I'm not a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm like, it's just really a new way of saying you own and manage a business and run a company, and you just choose to do it in a different way. The same reason people call them, we're joking about, there's NRL players who are the CEO because they're the chief entertainment officer. So language and words are just whatever you want them to be. So whether you feel like you're a hobbyist or a entrepreneur or a business owner or a marketing maven like you are, it doesn't really matter. They're just words. If you want to start a business or you want to start sharing your knowledge, sharing a product and exchanging that for money, that's a business. So call it whatever you want to do, define yourself as you want to. But part of the issue around when we talk about navigating your business is also navigating that language that you want to use. And why that's important to our conversation just then about branding is because it's how you relate to your customers, right? So if you're like we don't call ourselves CEO. Like I'm not a CEO. I've got 5 people in my team. They're amazing. I love them, but I'm not going to be the CEO, right? Because I'm hands-on, I'm doing the work. And I think that just seems a little bit odd for me. So we just stick with managing director or principal consultant because that's what we do, right? But it really impacts the way your clients see you. So if you want to seem bigger than you are and create this incredible empire, then you can say, I'm the CEO of my company. And that positions you as in a particular way versus, hey, I'm an artist and I'd love you to buy my product. Or I'm a coach and consultant. Do you want to work with me? So how you position yourself, how you label your business or your kind of journey will impact the types of clients that you attract. And that's one of the key things we talk about when we do the Navigate session with Growth Trio or when we run Empire Builders. It's what do you want your business to be? Like, what does that look like for you? And that's really the start of everything is if you're imagining your business as a person or as a thing, what would it look like? Is it, is it a shopping bag or is it a beautiful, expensive handbag? Is it like a electric Tesla or is it kind of, a little, two-door mini? What does your business look like for you? That then allows us to define everything after that.
I think that's such an important thing. And also to remember, you can come back and redefine it at any
100%.
point. So,
Yeah.
for example, I've sometimes put down owner. When you've got to make a choice, so you're feeling like maybe you're signing up to a course or whatever, and it's asking what your role is in the business, and I've literally only got the choice of owner. And I'm like, that's an odd one too, because what do I actually own? I own, yes, I own the company name, but for example, in my scenario, if I couldn't work as of tomorrow, I haven't got a business to sell.
Yeah.
So that, in my mind, says business owner is quite different as opposed to a brand with a shop front and all that kind of thing. So it's an interesting one how you position it. But for example, I could talk myself down and say, I'm a marketing manager. Or I could talk myself up and say, like, you just marketing maven, or, whatever you want. There's just so many different ways to put yourself. So what feels right and fun, or not fun? Some of you don't like fun, but what feels right, and in my case, fun for me.
Yeah, I think that's a critical piece. And I think that's what sets the way we run the growth trio feed. When you do your marketing piece and when Ash does her mindfulness or mindset piece, is one of the key things I think people get hung up in business. And one of the things that set us apart, each of us as coaches, is that we recognize that people want to show up differently in their world. And it doesn't have to be the cookie cutter approach to business like it was in the 80s and 90s, where everybody wore power suits, everyone wore heels, everyone had an office. If you had a business that was run out of home, they thought you sold Tupperware. There was no way you could run a successful, business from your home back in those days. That has changed now. People don't expect you to have an office or a particular kind of fixed address. You could be out of Watso or co-working station, or you could work out of your bedroom, your lounge room, and office, or your backyard. No one has that same expectation about what a business looks like. Yet many people still believe there is a specific model for business. And the reality is, in this current environment with AI, with the technology that we have, with the globalization of business, your business can look like anything you want it to, and we can make that work for you. You just have to be clear about what that looks like to start with.
You absolutely do. And also the level of professionalism you want to present right from the beginning. So I truly believe that there's an element of investment you need to put into your business before you even launch. I see a lot of people putting themselves out there with a homemade logo, which they're super proud of because they've been playing in Canva and, hey, look what I can do. But is that the best face for your business? And coming up with, because in Canva you can add this element and this element and this element, so let's put it all in there and whiz bang. But is that right as well? When you compare that to who your competitors might be, are you feeling like you're on point with them or even surpassing them, or are you looking like you really need to do some courses or to get some
Well, I
coaching?
think that conversation around investment, I think, is so important, because investment you don't have to start a business with huge amounts of money. I've told the story 1,000 times. I started with $43 in my bank account. Here we are 7.5 years later. We're thriving, we're growing, we're expanding our business because we've done that constant investment. Now, that's either been in coaching or training or getting someone to do my logo. Now, my logo, we're looking at the moment, because we've got so many other streams of business, we're starting to say, well, what does our logo look like? Is it still relevant to us at the moment? Do we need to change it? But we keep coming back to elephant in the room consulting, and our origami elephant is core to our value set. It's core to who we are. But is there a way that we can modernize it and tweak it for our audience, to your point there, right? But the key is, we did that 8 years ago. I think it was, there was a site calling, and this was before I met you. I think it was like $99 or 99 something. And they would do all your branding and give you, for every month, you pay $99 a month. And you get unlimited amounts of social media or content or whatever it was at the time. In this case, we wanted branding. So we did our branding set and our logos and a range of them. That was 7 years ago. Now, we've changed as a business, and it's now, but we invested that very small amount. And you can find that on Fiverr or all the different, Upwork, who can build you a new logo for under a couple of $100, and that you own. Most importantly, you will own your logo. And then you can go back to them a year later saying, hey, I kind of liked it then, but now we need to tweak. Can you keep evolving with me? So your logo or your brand, and you've had this conversation so many times, and I love the session that you do it when we run Empire Builders. You come and share the conversation around branding is not just your logo, it's everything you do. Your website, your socials, your voice, your images, your colors, your everything becomes your brand. If you're doing that in an ad hoc way, then you're kind of running your business in an ad hoc way, aren't you? And I think that's one of the critical things we have to remember.
That was beautifully said. It's and at the end of the day, that's okay if you're okay with that, but that's not okay if you want to play in the big league, if you want to put yourself out there, whether you're brand new to business or just looking to start out, or whether you've been going for a really long time, but it's old and it's outdated. What is it that you're looking like? And it's time to put some money in and invest in yourself.
A really great example is Apple, right? If you think about Apple's very simple logo, right? When they started to recognize they had a very specific role in the market and that they were actually about to grow, they simplified and pared back their logo from the multicolor kind of Apple connected to IBM Apple into its own brand. And it became and it's become iconic, and they haven't had to change it very much. They've changed because they've recognized they pared it back to the very basic piece, and they've gone, we're now showing up as this unique, this piece. But they did that same thing. They had to recognize when they were ready to grow and step out of the shadow of their past into a new brand. And I think particularly if you're doing a service, particularly if you're wanting to play at a high end with, high value clients and high value content, they want to see quality and engagement. And you can still have spelling mistakes. You can still have a little, issue with your PowerPoint. No one worries so much about that. But the overall look needs to be polished to make sure that it's strong.
Absolutely. So it comes back down to investing, as you and I both do. We're always, looking at where do we want to change our business? Where do we want to grow our business? Where do we want to simplify? Where do we want to move, et cetera, et cetera? And then who can help me get there?
Exactly.
And which part of my business needs help? So our final growth trio on Friday, well, the reason that we've got the three of us together is because we all offer something different.
100%.
So you might need support in all of those areas, which I know I do, or you might need support in just one of those areas. And some of the feedback we've had from people who attended in person said, I came along for Ash, but then found out I needed you guys too. Yeah. And so one thing I'm so proud of that we're offering as part of our digital goodie bag is a one-on-one session with each of us that they can use anytime in the next 6 months, which is so awesome.
That is the investment piece, right? So even if, I know a couple of people have said, I really wanted to be in person, but now it's online. All the sessions, the one-on-one sessions, were always going to be online because that's how we deliver our coaching. But you get extended, you get a little bit extra love from us because we're going online. You get us 8 hours on Friday combined. We've got my session, Ash's session, then your session. Then we've got this coaching session. But then there's other offers and opportunities that you will get by coming into our tribe and joining us. So your amazing digital content that you're constantly feeding people through your Facebook and all your socials. We send out emails with little tips and hints in our PDF downloads, and Ash has the same. And so I think this is an opportunity, a very small investment that you're going to get back tenfold because it's going to actually set yourself up. It's going to shift your view of yourself, your business, and more importantly, your online brand and the way you can leverage that at the moment. It's the perfect opportunity to do that. We've got 2 months before the end of the year. It's great. You can come. We can talk about your Christmas goodie bag. We can talk about what you're doing to engage clients in the next 2 months. We can talk about how to build your business. So it's 100% the best thing you can do for your business this quarter, whether you have an established business or, as you said with your colleague, you're brand new to business. It's the best way to start engaging and take some time out to work on your business.
Couldn't agree more. And we'll put it all in the comments so you can make sure that you can click on the link and go and jump in on that. And don't miss out.
Very much so. We were looking for, and on Monday you'll be getting some FOMO because we'll be telling you about all the amazing things we did on Friday, next Monday. So please make sure, if you haven't registered to join our online workshop this Friday, click the link, join the Growth Trio workshop. It is going to be a game changer for you. Kylie, as always, it's amazing to chat with you. For everyone joining us for our welcome back podcast, nice to have you back and joining us. Make sure you click the link so you can subscribe with us and see all our future episodes and go back and have a look at some of our old stuff. Kylie, have an amazing week. We'll see you Friday for the Growth Trio.
I look forward to it. Thanks, Jenni. See you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.
Bye-bye.